What's up, North County? Tune into the Backstage Pass with the Rebel Bear. Tonight, my guest is Mr. Ben Del Giorgio. Ben, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming in. I truly appreciate it. Ben, you are, I would consider you a world-renowned bass player. Seriously.
Thank you.
Not kidding. I mean, like, your qualifications and your background and your schooling and your knowledge, everything, you know, there's a lot of musicians out there that can hear music, but they don't know what time it's in.
Right.
I've heard you, oh, that's in this time and that's in that time, and you know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank
you.
you
are, your history speaks for itself. All the different places you've played, all the people you've played with, it's extremely impressive, and that's why I wanted to get you in here.
Yeah,
so, born in Ventura?
Born in Ventura, yeah.
Okay. And what was that, 84?
84.
Nice. I was probably just meeting Eric at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Eric McCornack, Soundhouse. All right. So, and your grandfather lived in A-Town, and your parents cruised out from Ventura to here?
Yeah, my parents met in Ventura and then moved back. They moved all over, but ended up in Paso.
Okay. And then your dad was a musician, correct?
Yeah, my dad was and still is, plays guitar, but he started out on accordion.
Okay. So was he one of your main influences?
My dad was a main influence of mine, mostly on guitar. He always played accordion around our family, but growing up in church, I'd watch him play guitar and stuff. So
right. And so your influences being your dad, and who were the Smiths? Was that?
So local talent, Emily Smith.
Okay.
She does solo stuff around here. Her father, Greg Smith, was a big influence on me.
Oh, okay.
Greg was a bass player. He was a pro in Chicago, I think in the 70s, and ended up locating out here. And then so he showed me a lot, kind of encouraged me.
Now, was he also a teacher for you too? Did he teach you a lot?
Not so much. He would show me some stuff, but he was more kind of he would kind of cheer me on. He's kind of encouraged me to move to LA and pursue it on a bigger level.
Right. And Ralph, what was it? Ralph Grasso?
Yeah. So Ralph was a retired session musician from Los Angeles.
Right.
He moved to Paso, and my dad started taking guitar lessons from him. And I didn't have, as a kid, I didn't really have an interest in music at all. It was all basketball.
Really? Well, you got a little height.
Yeah. I was too clumsy, though, to play. So my dad started taking lessons, and one day at church, I grew up in church and stuff, and I seen the bass player playing, and I went, wow, that sounds really cool. I like the sound of that. And he says, well, I'm taking lessons from this guy. Let's get you hooked up with him. So he did. And man, Ralph is somebody who played on tons of movies, TV shows, Chips, I Dream of Jeannie.
Really, just soundtracks to all that stuff?
Played with Barbra Streisand.
Really?
Yeah, I did lots of stuff. And so he kind of was the one that really, I started taking lessons from him, and he really showed me how to do it. Taught me how to read music. He taught me also how to play guitar at the same time, so I kind of learned both. But he was the one that really encouraged me also to move to LA and pursue it.
Yeah. And how old were you when you first met him through your dad?
14, I think.
So you started fairly young.
Yeah.
Did you pick it up pretty quick? Were you a quick study or what?
Not at first. It took me about a year.
Right.
I think after a year, I started to latch on to what he was teaching me. And then from there, about 15, maybe 15 or 16 or so, I started just skyrocketing from there. Kind of picked it up quick.
So in your first lessons were right then at 14 then, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And after that, did you migrate past that? Just kept doing lessons?
I did lessons for about 3 or 4 years with him. And then we stopped. I can't remember why I stopped. I think I'd kind of hit a wall with him or a ceiling.
Right.
And so I was finished out high school, and then it was maybe 20 years old. I decided to move to LA and then go to LA Music Academy.
Yeah. And that was what, you went there in 2005, something
2005,
like
yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of learned how to produce and write songs and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was primarily bass performance focused, because I had the mindset of I wanted to be like Ralph, which was to be a session musician.
Right.
So I got down there and I figured out, the session work is starting to taper off a bit. That's kind of when it started going away. It's still around a bit, but not like it was.
Well, now, especially with AI and all that.
Oh God, yeah, AI's
yeah, killing it.
Yeah.
So was it never for me? I always wanted to consider myself a musician until I met somebody like you, but it was always about performing for me. So was it not about performing? It wasn't about performing for you right off the bat. It was more about being a session player?
It was, but I really wanted to be a session guy, and that changed when I was going to LA Music Academy. I got it was a little bit of discouragement in there, some ups and downs,
Right.
but I got really distracted with production. I started learning how to produce music, and that really kind of overshadowed bass playing for a number of years.
Really?
Probably 7-8 years from that point.
Now, was that because you liked it more, or because that was where you were being guided to, or what?
Yeah, it just took over my interest. I'm kind of a all or nothing kind of guy, so I hyper focused on that. I was like, I don't know how to do this. I want to learn to my best of my abilities how to produce.
Right. So you like the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. I myself like a challenge myself. So now you started doing, at that time, you started doing session work too?
A little bit. Yeah, actually it first started out, I joined an R&B group in LA and met the lead singer, and him and I kind of hit it off and started producing together. So he was a writer.
Right.
So I wasn't really playing that much at that time, just at home. I just started getting into production and just went full on with that. So him and I started a production company. I'd produce up his music, and then we signed eventually. I think that was probably 2008, 2009. We signed about 8 artists.
Really? On your own production company?
And I produced every single one of them. So I was in the studio 12, 14 hours a day.
Really? So just running the board and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mixing.
So you're formidable with that as well then?
Yep.
All that. That's awesome.
Yep.
It's one of those things where there's so many different sides to music, and that was one of the sides that I always wanted to get into, but I just didn't have the means to go to school to do it. I kind of learned as I went.
Yeah.
But there's so much involved in it.
There's a lot, but it allows you to. It allowed me anyway to kind of express. Like I could play guitar, I could learn how to produce in the software, record singers, produce their vocals, and all that. So for me, it suited me really well.
When you came into it, was it more a digital aspect, or was it still analog?
It was digital.
Was digital by then?
Yeah, I got my first Mac. I got an iMac, and then I got some hardware and microphones and all that. So we were recording. We had like a little vocal booth that we set up, and I'd track the singers in there and then just do everything in the computer.
Do you have a favorite program that you like to use?
Logic.
Logic is yours?
Mm-hmm.
I used in the beginning I was using Cool Edit Pro or something like that.
I used Cool Edit
which
too.
is cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have Presonus.
Studio Live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a few years since I've dug it out. I don't have room right now where I'm at, but I like it. But I also had the Tascam 2488.
Oh, the little multi-track recorder.
Yeah.
Those
are like
cool.
a 24 channel, 24 track. And I don't know why, but I like that more than I like my Presonus, for the fact that it's more hands-on instead of clicking.
It's hands-on and it sounds warm because it's analog.
Yeah, I don't know, something about it I like more, and I keep threatening that I'm going to buy a new one because I like my Presonus, but it's just I don't know. I just know how to use it better, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler to just mess with the faders. It's basic, right. And it sounds good because I've listened to recordings that were done on those. They sound great. Yeah,
I like the ones that I did. So now you moved back to Paso after all the session work and everything in LA.
Right. So basically what happened was was it 8 months into LA Music Academy was a 1-year program.
Right.
So 8 months in, I dropped out actually. So I dropped out of LA Music Academy, and the reasons for it, maybe was a bit bored, to be honest. I don't know if you know, but in those schools, they will put you with 10, 12 bass players in a class, and every single bass player is at a different level.
Right.
So you got one teacher, or you got a few different teachers teaching different subjects, but you're sitting next to somebody who's just picked the instrument up, but you're all moving at the same speed. That was rough for me, because I'm like, we're sitting here on something I learned 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
So eventually I got kind of burnt out of it, dropped out, moved back here for a couple of years, and then got the bug again to go back to LA. So started all over again.
Now, when you were down there doing all that, did you meet anybody that kind of changed your trajectory?
Out of production, you mean?
Yeah, in any of it, like where you went down there and you left and you came back, and then once you got going again, you meet some people that made a difference.
Yeah, so I got a call when I moved back. I got a phone call from a guy I actually went to LA Music Academy with. He said, "Hey man, I got this drummer that called me to do this gig, and it's in 3 days at the Gibson Amphitheater, and I can't play the music; it's too hard." And I told him, I recommended you. Can you come by and check it out? I said, okay. I don't know because he was a damn good bass player. And So I drove over to the studio with this drummer and listened to the music and went, oh my God, I don't know if even I can play this.
Now, was this the drummer that you did that show with?
Yeah, Jacob Arman.
That guy, holy Lord. There's where can people find that video?
If you go on YouTube and type up Jacob Arman, the name of the song, I'm trying to remember the name of the song.
There's a couple of them though, right?
There's a bunch of videos.
And is all those videos, are they all at that same venue at the same night?
No.
Okay.
But if you wanted to see that video of the first night that I played, you would type in Jacob Arman Gibson Amphitheater.
So Jacob Arman Gibson Amphitheater, if you're into, is that progressive jazz?
It's like progressive rock. It's like
progressive
fusion. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I've watched this video a couple times with Ben. It is amazing. Like the whole band is outstanding, but this guy has this. How much is that kit?
The kit? How much it cost?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
It's easily $10,000.
It's a full wrap. It's like a Neil Peart kind of.
Yeah,
a drum
it's
set.
just disgustingly awesome.
Yeah.
And the guy is, who was the guy on the Tonight Show, or the drummer guy?
Who played on the Tonight Show?
Yeah, or the really popular drummer guy.
Is it Max?
Max Weinberg.
Yeah, Max Weinberg.
So this guy is like, who would be considered like a Max Weinberg. So he's the leader of the band, but he's a drummer.
Yep.
So it's really impressive, and you do an outstanding job playing.
Thank you.
Yeah, like Eric showed me it, and Eric showed me one of them, and then we watched another one with you, a different one, and I was just blown away. So you got that gig.
I got that gig, and that kind of, that kind of catapulted me back into playing. And like I told you earlier, I become like hyper focused, and now I'm hyper focused on bass again.
Okay.
Which I kind of got distracted with production for a long time, and here I am, kind of zeroed in on bass. So I'm practicing all day again, and with Jacob, we would practice once a week. But it was in between practices, I'm at home practicing because the stuff was so freaking fast, man. It was so hard to play.
Yeah, that stuff is insane. Like really, and it's really good. Like, I'd give it a rock moniker, but if somebody asked me what I truly thought it was, I'd say like some heavy progressive jazz.
Right. Yeah.
Because just really, but really good. Like, really something that will definitely hold your attention.
Yep.
You're not going to get bored listening to that or even watching it.
Yeah, so, and he would sell out the place. We went up to, what do you call it? What is the name of the place? The jazz club up in Oakland, Yoshi's.
Okay.
Yoshi's Jazz Club, and we went and did that one, and it's like the place is packed. I'm like, people want to hear this stuff. I like the music, but it's kind of a niche market,
Right.
But it was packed to the brim.
Well, I think that, there's a lot of people, not to pigeonhole it, but there's a lot of people with money that like that stuff.
Yeah.
And that up there
Yeah.
It's just filled with a bunch of people that have money and like that stuff.
That's right.
You know, I think one of my surgeons would listen to that stuff in the operating room. He's just working away. So yeah, I can imagine that. So getting back to Paso, was that 2015 after all that?
After my run in LA, because there was a few back and forths, 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. I met Eric when I first moved back. That would have been 2015, I guess. Teddy, who you had on here recently.
Teddy Ramirez.
Yep. Shout out.
Brother, come on.
He called me and was like, yeah, if you want to play with us, I'm doing this gig with this guy, Eric, Soundhouse. And I didn't have any gigs when I moved back here, you know? So I was like, oh, let's do it. So I joined Soundhouse for a while and we had some fun, you know?
You know, it's crazy because to me, that I don't know who was on guitar at that time.
I think it was Bo.
Bo, okay. But that rhythm section between you and Teddy, you know, that's a pretty dominant rhythm section to me. Like,
yeah, we have a lot of fun.
To hearing you two go back, and you know, no offense to, you know, rock bands or rock players, but I would have not. I guess maybe I probably shouldn't say this, but I would imagine in some aspects, not that you get bored, but that stuff's got to be pretty easy for you guys.
Right. It's like meat and potatoes stuff for as far as the bass goes.
Yeah.
It's guitar driven mainly, you know.
Right. So that's got to be one of those things where I'm sure you have to study to a certain extent.
Right. Yeah.
But you know your changes and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, when it comes to actually playing it, it probably isn't that difficult for you, right?
Yeah, and Teddy and I would embellish stuff, you know, and
yeah, I think Eric mentioned that one night. He's like, yeah, those guys will embellish stuff sometimes. And,
yeah.
But, you know, I think that's what makes it good. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Stick around. Please tune in and like and subscribe.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today. We can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hey, we're back. So we got Mr. Ben Del Giorgio in the studio this evening. Thank you so much once again for coming on in.
Yep,
so your major influences, you had Jaco Pastorius.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding. Like
he's phenomenal.
Yeah, one of those guys, and not a household name, but he probably should be, right?
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Victor Wooten.
Victor Wooten was, for me as a kid, was equally as, he probably actually overshadowed Jaco.
Really?
When I was studying, yeah, because I was just enamored with his slap bass and all that stuff.
I have home video somewhere in a box. I used to do the High Sierra Music Festival.
Oh yeah.
And I was a driver, so I drive people to and from the airport, and then I was a parker and did all this other crap. But I got a chance to, I didn't meet him, but I was backstage with him and saw him. And then I got to stand off to the side of the stage, and I took video of him. I have video of him playing, and I had no idea who he was. And my friend kept saying, dude, you got to see this guy.
Was he playing with Bella Fleck?
He was playing with Bella Fleck and Flecktones, yeah.
Yeah.
And Bella Fleck, that whole band.
Incredible.
Yes. And I was never really into that style of music. I'm like this rocker hanging out.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think I've ever had so much respect and adoration for musicians that I didn't consider at all. Like, oh, whatever. And then when you start watching those guys, you just go, oh,
that combination is really unique too,
isn't it?
Yeah, and with Victor Wooten doing all that crazy tapping and slapping and all that stuff, it's incredible.
Yeah, and the way it all fits in there together.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Hedges, do you know who that is?
Michael Hedges.
He's not around anymore. He died in an auto accident. But I saw him there. I worked there for 4 years. And one of the years, he was there with Bela Fleck. Wasn't playing with Bela Fleck, but he was one of the shows. And he's probably one of the best acoustic guitar players I've ever heard in my life. Wow. Just crazy. Yeah, that
to look him up. I've never heard of him.
One guitar that's like half a guitar, and then it's got strings on the top. You ever seen that?
Is it one guitar neck?
One guitar neck.
Okay, yeah.
And then it comes over a piece of wood, and there's like these strings.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays that like two-handed, and just
wow.
Yeah, and when he plays, it sounds like there's 4 different people playing. You know, it's like it's crazy.
It's like a Chapman stick. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, a lot like that. Now, was it Steve Winwood? Is that one of your Steve
Winwood?
No, Steve Wounded. Stevie.
Oh, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Oh yeah. Big Stevie Wonder fan.
Now, was that from when you were a kid, or?
As I got older in life, like as a kid, I was listening to a bunch of hip hop and Tupac and all that kind of stuff. I had one of those phases, you know.
Now you write a lot, with a more like when you do the jazz thing, but you do some soul stuff too, right?
Yeah,
like R&B kind of.
I've always loved soul singers, gospel singers, you know, Motown, Stevie Wonder, and there's a long list. Luther Vandross. R&B and soul and all that stuff really kind of resonated with me.
Right.
Even though I wasn't really exposed to a lot of it growing up here, but I always loved it.
Yeah. Now, were you influenced by any of that by your family or your teachers, or who turned you on to that stuff, or did you just kind of find it on your
own? I think it was self-discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents didn't listen to it. My mom would listen to James Taylor, and Dad would listen to the Beach Boys, so that was kind of what was running in the house.
Far Cry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, how funny. Now, your gear, you pretty much play Ibanez and Fender?
Ibanez, I have a few different basses, but Ibanez is my favorite bass brand.
Have you ever had anyone, you know, promote you from any of those companies?
No, that's one thing I've not gotten as an endorsement.
Yeah, so that would be nice, though.
It would be nice.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
because maybe it's just where you're at, but I mean it's not that you're not doing enough with crazy people. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's one of those. It's kind of a crapshoot with endorsements. You know, you kind of.
Yeah, and I hear that most people aren't fully endorsed.
Right. They offer different endorsement deals. It might be a 50%, 40%. They'll give you like instruments or strings or whatever at a reduced cost.
Right. Yeah. I've heard about that. So venues you've played, the Yoshi's, obviously, the jazz club there in Oakland,
mm-hmm.
and then the Catalina Jazz Bar in Los Angeles, Cozy's in Studio City.
That was a long time ago. Cozy's, man.
Yeah.
They shut down.
So it's not around anymore?
No. But the Gibson Amphitheater, the largest show I've played is the MGM in Vegas. That was 17,000 people, I think.
Wow.
That was wild, that one.
Pretty cool.
I thought I was going to be, you think you're going to be nervous going out with that many people, but I remember going out on stage and looking out at the sea of people, and I actually felt kind of comfortable because they're so far away.
Right.
You know, you're like, well, I got my own space up here, they're there.
Yeah, but I think you as a performer, you know, as a musician, for me, outside looking in, watching you, you have it so down that all of this is truly second nature, right?
Right.
I mean, you're not, never, I played with you a few times. I've watched you play a few times. Never once did I ever consider or think that you are second guessing what you're doing.
Right. Like with those kind of groups, we have plenty of time to prepare everything. And kind of the idea is you come in and you nail your parts because.
Now, how does, so we'll talk about Live 61.
Mm-hmm.
Now is that necessarily a company or is that a band?
It's both. It's a buddy of mine. His name is Wes Quave. He started this company years ago. It's a corporate band basically. So we started out just doing cover gigs. We'd fly all over the place and play covers for different companies like Target, Bank of America. They throw these huge parties at resorts and stuff like that. So we would do that. But the agency that hires him had this idea that's, hey, let's do this show where I'll bring in these different singers like a Steve Augeri or, whoever. You'll be the backing band and we'll sell that show. So we did that. The first one was in Laguna Niguel. It was a block party. And we had, one of, Jan and Dean.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
Jan and Dean?
Yeah.
So Dean Torrance, obviously Jan died a long time ago.
Right.
Dean Torrance came, Tony Orlando, the Rembrandts, the Romantics.
So these are all people you've played on stage with?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first show. So it was kind of a cool show because they called the cops, they shut the whole neighborhood down. They set up like VIP stuff in the street, couches and stuff, huge stage and everything. And we had the singer also from Kool and the Gang. So all these guys, this is our first time doing this. We played the show. We knocked it out of the park. It was great. And then from that point, the artist roster kept building. So the agency would call us, say, hey, we have another show. This time we got, like we've done a hip hop show. Hey, we got Tone Loc, Sugar Hill Gang, a bunch of these old rappers that they would put together. But Naughty by Nature, different artists. They would start putting these things together, and it started just kind of building from there.
Now, so you have, Tony Orlando, Naughty by Nature, all these different bands. Now, when the company and the band, Live 61 says, hey, we got this show coming up and we're going to get this entertainer. That entertainer picks the songs, gives them to you guys study them and then do that? Is that how that works?
It's a combination between the entertainer and the agency. Because sometimes the agency will kind of step in and say, hey, I think maybe do your hits. Like, for instance, with the Rembrandts, right? Their hit on the Friends theme song, I'll Be There For You. Well, that's their only hit.
Right.
I mean, maybe they had one other hit in the 80s or something, but that's their main song. So they said, we just want you to play that song. And then we did a Bowie cover.
So they only do one song?
Well, the Rembrandts do.
And then they circle in and bring in another.
Yeah, so basically how it'll go is like with the Rembrandts, they're the only ones that kind of do one song. Them and Tommy Two-Tone, because Tommy Two-Tone has 867, So Rembrandts do their song, and I think we did a David Bowie cover with them too. I can't recall the name of it now, but so they got two songs, right? We're up on stage, welcome everybody to the Rembrandts. They come up, they do their song, get them off stage. We're still playing their last song kind of quietly. The next artist comes up. It's very much like a Vegas show.
Really?
So here we have Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray.
So you're playing Mark McGrath in.
Yep.
Hey, Mark McGrath. He comes walking in.
They count him in. He jumps up. Mark McGrath, by the way, is a pure entertainer.
Really?
He just owns the crowd. As soon as he gets on stage, everybody goes crazy.
That's awesome.
After all these years, But anyway, so he jumps up there. He does his songs. Next artist is kind of waiting to go. Boom, Vanilla Ice jumps up, does a few songs with him, and then we just keep it moving.
Wow. That is way cool.
So you're going from genre to genre. It's like Terry Nunn from Berlin. We play with her. Yep. There's just a number of people, and so you're kind of, it's an interesting gig because you're you're not just playing one genre, not one thing. You're kind of on your toes. You're like, okay, we're going to go to country now. We're going to go to Jason Aldean now. Now we're going to go to this artist, and they're like disco.
So now these are all people that you've played with, Jason Aldean.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to meet him at all?
Yeah.
Nice guy?
Very nice.
That's good. He seems like he would be a nice guy.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Jason Aldean fan. That's why I ask.
Yeah.
You know, he's so that is really pretty cool, because a lot of people don't know. Like, I don't know anything about any of that. So for me, like, I'm kind of learning it, and now that's all. Like, when you're doing that, you all kind of hang out like backstage, or and it's catered and all that. So
it's catered.
Hang out and eat, and
all the artists in the band are back in the green room, kind of, BSing or whatever, and getting ready for the show.
Is there ever any real drama or anything like that?
Is there any drama? Yeah, there's drama.
Is there? And
sometimes it comes in the form of maybe one of the artists is having a bad night. A lot of drama comes from sound problems, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
And you would think that wouldn't happen at that level, but it does.
Well, it's electronics,
right?
That's a given.
The artists don't hear themselves properly,
right,
or something doesn't work, or they've had too much to drink and they come on stage and they kick their pedal off or something. I've seen crazy stuff, where
wow. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think I've ever lost my temper on stage, nor would I want to,
right.
But I could see where if you're under that much pressure and all that, and you want it to be, I know when I'm on stage, I know when you're on stage, you want it to be the best that it can be.
Yeah, it's understandable.
If it's not the best that it can be, that can be kind of like, oh shit, that sucks.
There was I'll tell you a funny story though, real quick. There's we did a show at Mar-a-Lago, right? With Terry Nunn is performing, and Take My Breath Away, you know that song, right? Boom, 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 boom. So our band leader, he'd probably hate that I shared this story, but we play her, and she gets off, and Vanilla Ice is getting ready to come up next. And he's running the tracks. So he's supposed to cue Vanilla Ice's first song right after he introduces him. Everybody, introducing Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice comes running up the steps, and he presses Take My Breath Away, the backing track. So the crowd hears, do, 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 do. Vanilla Ice runs up on stage. It's so anticlimactic. Turns around and looks at Wes. Is like, what the heck is going on? He stops it, presses play again, presses the same track again. He just had a brain fart. But, it was awkward, but I'm on the side of the stage just crying, laughing, because it was so uncomfortable.
That's hilarious. All right, well, we're going to come right back. He's got some more stories for us. Please stay tuned. All right.
When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
What's up, North County? Backstage Pass. We're here with Mr. Ben Del Giorgio, and so we were talking about. We won't name any names.
Yeah, no.
But you were doing a show, and you brought somebody with you, and they got kind of crazy. What was that about?
Okay, so I did a show with Jacob Arman. We talked about earlier.
Oh, okay, that's who it was with.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you.
So one of my good friends, I invited him to come to the show. He wanted to check it out. So he comes, and I told him, hey, just hang out in the green room and kind of a deal, and we're going to go up get sound check. So we do. And I can tell as sound check's going on, I come back after sound check, he's been in there drinking a bit. Like, okay, he's having a little pregame party going on.
Right.
Well, we go up to do the show, and I get done with the show, and the whole band's wanting to go in, have some wine or whatever. And this guy's finished off all the alcohol in the green room. He's pissed drunk. He's making a scene. He's falling all over the place. I was so embarrassed, Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how some people, when they get in that atmosphere, it just they kind of lose it and get a little too crazy.
He was enjoying himself.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a lot.
Yeah.
Now, some of the people that you've played with, like say CeeLo Green, what was that like?
Well, it's an interesting story. The first show that I did with him, which was that was recent, 3 months ago, down in Orange County. So sound check went okay, although I noticed I had a problem with my bass amp. It was cutting out. So I called the sound guy over. Hey, we got a bass problem here. He says, let's just switch the head out. I said, yeah, I'd feel more comfortable if you just switch. He had a whole other backup rig, which was great. He sets that up, seems to work fine. And I believe on this roster of this gig was In Vogue, CeeLo Green, Mickey Thomas from Starship.
Oh, I love Mickey Thomas.
Yeah, and I think that was it. I think it was just 3 for that one. Well, anyway, the first act was In Vogue, and we had this big intro. So hey, welcome everybody, In Vogue, blah, blah, blah. They come running out on stage. We have these big musical hits that happen with the band. So they counted off. We have a backing track and a click in our ears and everything. We go to hit the notes. I hit maybe 2 notes and the bass cut out.
Oh.
Right from the get-go. So this is my first gig with CeeLo Green, by the way. So I was kind of excited to play with him. I'd played with In Vogue before a couple times.
Right.
And they're great. But so anyway, I'm playing along every 10 seconds throughout their whole set. It was cutting out. And at that point, there was nothing we could do because we already had the backup rig going.
Right.
So then Mickey Thomas comes up second. Same thing. Now that was worse because there's no backing tracks. It's all live, But Mickey's turning around looking, what's going on? There's no bass.
Right.
It's like it would literally give me like maybe 8 to 10 seconds of playing, and then it would cut out for 10, just constantly. So CeeLo, that was my experience with CeeLo. Was the first one. He was awesome. He was an awesome performer. He's a great singer. He was on point. It's just that when it came to his show, the bass is cutting out the whole show.
For Mickey's show.
Yeah, for all of them. For CeeLo
wow.
Green too.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw a clip go on social media, and I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah,
that's like that tech that.
It's one of those things where it's kind of out of your control, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't your bass, wasn't your cable or nothing like that, right?
Nope.
Just the rig.
It was the rig.
Wow.
So that was the first show. So I'd like to say it went well, but because of the tech issues, it didn't. For me, it was pretty upsetting.
Right. Oh, I can imagine.
But I got another second chance, which was about a month ago. We did another show with him, and that went really well. And
now, somebody like that, do they remember you?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, Ben, how's it going, man?
Yeah. If you do a few shows with him,
was he fairly understandable?
Like
yeah. About
he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about it.
Now, how was Mickey Thomas with it? Was he kind of annoyed? Or?
Funny enough is that Mickey Thomas did have complaints to the agent about something else, but he did not complain about the bass cutting out.
Really?
I was shocked.
I watched a thing about him because I grew up listening to him, and I remember the first time I ever heard him on cassette, I thought it was a chick.
Oh, he's incredible.
I thought it was a woman. And then I found out my dad took me to go see them in Santa Maria, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's a dude. I didn't realize that it was a guy. And then I read the name, Mickey Thomas. I thought Mickey was a girl.
Right.
And I was watching a thing the other day, and it was like a biopic about him. And it was basically saying, and you would know this, was everything still in 440?
Yeah.
So he's singing all that stuff.
He's singing it in the original key.
Yeah.
We did Jane. We built this city.
You know how many singers don't do that now? Like all your favorite singers out there, I hate to tell you, but they're doing their old songs. None of them are doing it in 440 anymore.
Mickey Thomas is a freak of nature, man.
That's what they were saying on this biopic.
Yeah,
They were saying, dude, it's amazing. What is he, in his 70s?
Yeah.
In 70 years old, still singing in 440.
The
This
original keys.
exact same. And it's like, I'm playing tomorrow night at the Siren, and that was the first thing the band said to me was, do you want us to drop a half step, or are we okay in 440? You know, for me, it's 2 songs. So, and the songs are super easy for me.
Right.
So, yeah, stay in 440. But sometimes, you know, it's like you're doing 80s hair metal for 4 hours a night.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if you want to drop a half step and save
I
me.
appreciate it.
Yeah, totally. So to hear somebody like that is still doing it in 440 and singing all those songs.
It's like Lou Gramm.
Yeah,
You know?
that's another guy you played with, right?
We played with Lou Gramm. We did one show with him, and I was floored because, you know, he had the was it a brain tumor?
Yeah, something like that.
So he comes out with his wife to sound check, and he's all hunched over, and he's just old, and he's been through a lot. And I'm like, man, he gets up there, and as soon as we start playing, he just came alive and jumped on that mic, and I was like, whoa, this guy still has the pipes. And I can't remember if we were doing it in the original key or not. It's been a few years.
Right.
But I was blown away by him.
Wow. So
Incredible.
yeah, he's always as a kid, he was always one of my favorite guys too. Just like one of those guys that just like that voice is just so strong and so just dominant, like a real dominant voice.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That is incredible. Who are the other people that you've played with that you really, really enjoyed?
One of my favorite shows was playing with Bobby Kimball from Toto. So
Now, was that the singer?
Yeah. So we got to do, you know,
Another great vocal.
Rosanna, Hold the Line, and Africa.
Wow.
We did that in Vegas, and I got video of that somewhere. I gotta dig it up, but I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And when you're playing with all these people, and they're, you know, I've met some big musicians that were just kind of dicks, you know, and then I met others that were just super cool, way down to earth. And to me, I think that's how you should be, you know, because your fans are who make you and break you.
Right.
You know, it's like without your fans, you wouldn't be there in the first place.
Right.
And are they all pretty cool?
Yeah, for the most part, they're cool. Like Bobby Kimball was super cool. He's fun, really fun to play with. We did a show with Eddie Money one time, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know, rest in peace, right? But
Right.
he jumped on stage, man. He looked at my bass, and this is an interesting thing about artists. They, especially from a certain time, he looked at my bass. That was the first thing he zeroed in on my bass because it's a 5-string,
Right.
and he's used to his bass player plays a 4-string bass. He's like, "What kind of bass is that?" He starts talking about my bass, and he's didn't like it. Why do you have 5 strings? You only need 4 strings, kind of a deal. You know, I've heard that 1,000 times, but I went, "Oh, you know, I need it for the rest of the show." Like there's
Right.
other artists we're playing with, and we had a moment with him at soundcheck when we played "Take Me Home Tonight." Man, he turned around and screamed at us.
Really?
And instinctively, I knew. He turned around and looked at me, and he screamed at me, but I knew what it was. It was because he didn't like my bass. So instinctively, he thought I was going to play something wrong. And
How
by the way,
strange.
we were nailing it.
Yeah. Well,
It sounded so good on stage, and then Eddie Money's turning around and he's kind of hyper focusing on me, and so that was one of those moments where I had to go, "Oh man,
right.
it's not fun." But
Well, I don't know. We'll come back to that. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk a little more about Eddie Money.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country. Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? Mr. Ben Del Giorgio in the studio. Hey, before we go any further, we want to thank all of our sponsors for making this show and What's Up North County possible. Those are our sponsors. Check them out. If there's anything you need from any of these people, they're right there for you. Check it out. We appreciate them so much. They make this possible. So we were talking about Eddie Money and how absolutely awesome he is. I really, when I was a little kid and that first album came out, I think it was like 77 or something like that. That was like, I think that was one of the biggest albums that I, the cassette of that I just listened to that thing every single moment of the day. I think that's actually where I got my some of my vocal chops. Like I think that's where I kind of honed in my vocal.
Now, was that, you're probably more familiar with his repertoire, but was that Take Me Home Tonight time? When did that?
No. It was the very first one with Baby Hold On to Me.
Oh yeah, we did that one too. Yeah.
Will be.
Yeah, that's a good song.
So all those songs are great. Did you know he was a cop?
No.
Yeah. He was a New York policeman.
Wow.
And his name is Mahoney.
Mahoney. I
Edward
didn't know that
Mahoney.
either.
That's what I heard. Edward Mahoney, and he was a cop, and then he hated it and had a little band, and his band was pretty good, and all his friends told him, just quit. If you're so unhappy being a cop, quit being a cop and play music.
So he did.
Yeah, and he obviously did pretty well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome. So you got to play with Mark McGrath too, right?
Yeah, plenty of times. He's a great guy.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite times playing with him?
Well, we played so many times with Mark.
Really?
Maybe. Well, I have actually a funny story about Mark.
Let's hear it.
Mar-a-Lago. The first year we played for Trump in Mar-a-Lago was 2017, and we were told. So we're back in the green room area. We're told you're not to go anywhere in the building without somebody accompanying you, because Secret Service will escort you off the property if they find you by yourself. That includes artists, everybody. So Mark had to use the bathroom. So he goes and he asks Secret Service if he can use the bathroom, and they said, "Hold on, we're going to check." They go. They said it's all clear. He goes in there, and he comes running back in the green room and tells us, "You guys aren't going to believe this. I went to use the bathroom, went to take a leak, and Giuliani's in the stall, taking a number 2, right?" And he rushes out the door and pulling his pants up, and Mark is dying laughing about this. We're like, "Oh my gosh, man!"
Was it a true story?
Yeah, it was true. It just happened. He was just Giuliani's in the stall. He comes running out, and they're like squeezing by each other in the hall to get out of the bathroom.
Classic. Yeah. Now, what's that like playing Mar-a-Lago?
It's when Trump is president, it's very, very tense, I guess, at least just getting into the ballroom.
Right.
So the first year we did it, he was president. You go through like 3 security checks. You got snipers pointed at your head when you're walking into the ballroom. That was kind of trippy for me. I was like, whoa, it's kind of cool. But the whole experience of it, especially the first year, was actually really huge for me, because and not necessarily just for political reasons, but I got to call my teacher, Ralph, right?
Right.
Going back to 14 years old, Ralph had told me the highest honor show you could ever do is to play for a sitting president. So we're about to go.
Ben, you badass.
We're about to go into Mar-a-Lago and jump in the shuttle, and I called him, and he's on his bed. He's bedridden at this point, on his way out, you know. So I got to call him and say, Ralph, you're never gonna believe where I'm at right now and what I'm about to do. It was kind of an emotional thing.
Totally.
Yeah, him and I were both crying on the phone, and I can't believe, you're my favorite student, and I taught you. This is
Right,
just,
you came above and beyond.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget that moment. So
that's a great story right there.
Yeah, so we got to go, and just walking in there, I went, wow, this is just incredible. Just seeing all these celebrities and politicians and stuff, and yeah.
Now, is that a part of Live 61?
What's that?
The whole Mar-a-Lago. Is that how you got into that? How did you get into playing the Mar-a-Lago?
So the agency that's been hiring us,
right,
that started the whole idea of the artist shows in general,
right.
The guy that runs the company, his son is one of Trump's advisors.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if he still is now, but he got the contract for the gig because there at the time there was a band that had been playing Mar-a-Lago for, I think, 10 years.
Right.
And so Trump was ready to change things up. So hey, let's try Johnny's dad, So he called us, said, hey, we got this gig. So we've had it ever since.
Now, that band, is it all the same people, or do people rotate in and out?
Musicians sometimes rotate. The people that are always there is me, the guy obviously that runs it,
right,
the guitar player who's the music director. But the drummers sometimes change out, and the background singers.
Now, I know when I was speaking to Daniel Formica, he kind of does the same thing, works for a company where he flies out and does these shows, and they pick certain songs, and he said sometimes he doesn't always play with the same people.
Right.
But for the most part, you play with the same, like 3 or 4 people?
Yeah, when it comes to particularly the Mar-a-Lago show.
Right.
Now, the other gigs, that they can change out. We could have a brand new drummer for a couple of weeks, and then he might disappear. But he tries to keep the same guys. It's just sometimes, you know how it is as a working musician. They're going to take shows. They're not available to do other shows.
Right.
So. Yeah,
that's the crazy thing about being a working musician or working with other working musicians is you can, unless you calendar date them out, it's hard to say, well, I'm gonna have Ben play for me next month, but if I don't calendar you out right now, when next month comes, I could call you up and go, hey, I got some gigs for you. I'm out of town. I'm already working.
He gives us contracts to lock us in.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a smart business move on his end. That way he knows for sure we're going to be there.
Yeah, and the contracts are weird. It's almost like it's one of those things that if you don't know much about music or the business, how important they are.
Yeah.
There was unfortunately there was a mass shooting down in Los Angeles, like Riverside or something, and the bass player for Montrose was playing with this group, and it was this production guy that had got in on this big benefit fundraiser thing for the victims. So he had called my buddy Dan and said, hey, I'm putting together these musicians, and you're one of them. Want you to play this show. Do you know any singers? And so Dan called me up and said, hey, do you want to come do the show with us? And I said, yeah. Well, what we were supposed to do was go down there and play, and basically we would do it all these different artists, soul and funk and rock and rap, and we were going to do our set, which was like 7 or 8 songs of rock, Aerosmith and AC/DC and Van Halen, and then when we were done with that, the sons of Ice Cube, all those guys, the guys from NWA.
Yeah.
Well, they all have sons, and the sons have their own rap band. So they were going to be the last group to play. They were going to do their show. And then at the end, we were going to come back out and do Walk This Way rendition, the rap rendition.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was all totally planned out. And the morning that I was driving there, I get a phone call from Dan, and he's like, "Yeah, we're not on the bill." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "The contract fell through, and they didn't give us they didn't give our guy, the guy that's the producer for the band, didn't give him the contract to sign."
Oh, jeez.
And so I'm like, "Well, who needs a contract?" They're like, "No, they won't let you on stage, and you probably know this. Won't let you on stage until you sign the contract, which says that if something happens to you, you can't sue them or whatever.
Right,
Fall off
yep.
the stage, break your leg."
Yep.
So I'm halfway to LA,
Bummed.
and yeah, we just like hung up the phone. It was like, oh,
Turn around.
yeah, it was a drag. That would have been a lot of fun. It probably would have been, not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Right.
It's like it gets all pumped up to be something, and then it's not.
Yeah.
Now, has that happened to you where you went to go do something and it wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be? Or have all of them been pretty darn good?
There's been a few that were, like I said before, sometimes it's tech issues that happen when you think something's going to be really great, and then it doesn't fall apart like musically, but there's so many issues with sound and whatnot that goes on that it kind of becomes unenjoyable. It's not very fun when you can't hear properly in your ears and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like playing with a certain artist, for the most part, that's been great every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of them are pretty cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. I like when I met a few, like I said, met a few artists, and a lot of them have been cool, and then some of them have not been that cool. Now, when it comes to your monitors for a situation like that, is it floor monitors? Do you usually have in-ears, or?
With the artist stuff, it's always in-ears.
And do you prefer that, or does it matter?
I like wedges.
Do you?
Yeah. I like this. I want to really feel the sound. Like, I want to hear some speakers pushing air at me,
I don't like the in-ears just because I feel like there's a separation.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're singing.
Yeah.
Well,
I've only used them twice, but both times I felt kind of weird.
Yeah. Sometimes when I when I sing, I'll keep one ear in and one ear out, because I know you're technically not supposed to do that. It's bad for your hearing, but I want to hear the room.
Yeah.
They do make in-ears that have ambient mics on the outside of them, so you can
really?
kind of hear what's going on,
Right.
I've not tried those yet, but I've heard they're pretty good.
Yeah. I know that something about the drivers, if the drivers are, it's got a good amount of drivers, or the quality of the drivers makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you want to get something like, I don't know, 8-10 drivers at least.
Right. Yeah.
Get more bass and stuff. But
now, what is your next thing? Like, you play Mar-a-Lago coming up?
Yep.
And when is that? For Christmas or what?
For New Year's. So we fly out there they're flying us a bit early, I think on the 28th.
Oh, okay.
We go out there, and then we do, on the 29th, we go into the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago and do a rehearsal / sound check just to make sure everything's dialed in.
Right.
Then we come back and hang out until New Year's Eve.
And then they put you up in a motel and all that?
They put us up in a cool hotel in West Palm Beach. And what's cool about the gig is that they hire a band to perform for the band that's performing at Mar-a-Lago.
Really?
This has never happened before, but so this hotel we're staying at, they have a rooftop bar, and they have a little stage up there. So they're going to have some artist that's going to play for an after party. So we finish Mar-a-Lago on New Year's Eve. We shuttle back to the hotel, then we go straight upstairs, and then we get somebody performing for us, which is kind of unheard of.
Wow, that is pretty cool.
All right.
And you just hang out and get your party on.
That's it.
And now how, have to ask, how's the food and all this whole situation? They feed you pretty good?
It's great.
I can imagine.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, do you get to eat at Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah.
Sweet.
They have in the back, there's the ballroom, and behind the ballroom, there's we call it the green room, but it's, it's like a dining room.
Right.
So they'll bring in stuff and they kind of service. The food is very good.
Wow. That's I don't know. To me, it seems so far from me. Like I think about it and I go, man, I've done some cool stuff in my life, but nothing that cool.
It's a cool gig, and it's funny though because the things that interest me the most about the gig are kind of checking out how Secret Service is operating. All that stuff kind of interests me.
See, I would like that too. And how, from your view of it, how does that, like, okay, my question would be to you is, so how do they go about, they got to vet you, right?
Oh man, so you're in the shuttle, you go to the first security checkpoint, everybody gets off the shuttle, the dogs come, they take all your base, everything, all your equipment apart, they pull the panels apart in the shuttle, the engine compartment, they go through everything, then you go to the next station, they do it again.
Really?
They do it a third time. The third time, it takes forever to get in there. By the time you get in there, you're like, geez, man, we've gone through 3 checkpoints. But when you get into Mar-a-Lago, then there is a, what do you call it? They have a big machine that scans everything one last time.
Right.
So before you walk on the property, you load all of your belongings in there. It scans it, makes sure there's nothing wrong. Then you're allowed on.
Now, for something like that, did they have a back line?
Yeah, everything's backlined.
So all you're bringing is your bass?
Yep.
Wow, well, that's cool. And the back line, is that usually, for people that don't know, a back line is, your drums, your PA system, your amplifiers, all that kind of stuff. It's already there and ready for the band when they show up. So now, all that back line is pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, it's whatever you want.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just put that in your rider?
Yep.
Really? And now, when you have also that, like, you have your own, does each person get their own riders? It's just one big rider for the whole thing?
It's one big rider that's separated, and you'll get email correspondence back and forth with the person in charge of that, just to double check, hey, does this work for you? Do you want this? Do you want that? And you say yes or no and work it out. But it's very detail oriented, and
But you as a performer, you as a musician, can you say to your guy, "Hey, I want, M&Ms without the brand ones or whatever." Not necessarily that, but can you say, like for me, my last rider was up at there's a big bike rally in Northern California. We opened up for Night Ranger, and my rider, all I wanted was ice cold water and fruit and a big thing of fruit. And so when I got backstage, like, they had all their beer and their Goldschlager or whatever the hell they were drinking.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, there's your thing." And I looked over and there was a big thing of fruit and a bunch of water, ice cold water for me.
Yep.
So, so do you get your own separate thing or?
It's not per person. It's like it's looped into the whole band. So
Right.
they'll have a rider that will say, hey, we're going to provide A, B, and C. It might be certain types of snacks, drinks and stuff. You want some bottles of wine, whatever, and the guy that runs the company will handle that. And most of the time, I'm not very picky, so I'm not going to put in there, I want crackers or whatever. I don't put any of that. I just, whatever they have.
I don't want saltine. I want Ritz. So also they obviously have stage manager and people that kind of pretty much dial you guys all in and everything. So you just pretty much walk up and they plug your bass in and handle all that for you.
Everything's ready to go. Yeah. One of the guys that works for the agency that hires us, he'll be side stage, and then he'll just, if there's any problems, we just go to him and he'll make sure it gets fixed.
Sweet. Well, we're going to take our next break. Real quick, I want to thank Ben for coming in. We're going to come right back, but
thank you.
I wanted to thank you so much for coming in. Is there, you have some stuff coming up other than the Mar-a-Lago thing that you want to let people know about?
I have one on Friday in Manhattan Beach. It's kind of a Christmas event that we're doing outside.
Is that like a jazz thing or what is that?
No, it's a cover thing with the same band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, so you don't have anything going on around here though?
No.
Okay. What about Where can people find you? Where can people find you and find out where you're playing and what you're doing?
Instagram, Facebook. Instagram, BDLG Music. And you look me up on Facebook and YouTube.
Okay, cool. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for tuning in.
My name is Jennifer Borhone-Wescombe.
And I'm Haley Wescombe from Borhone Auto Center. Borhone Auto Center is a family-owned and operated GMC dealership. We are your go-to dealership for quality vehicles. With a vast inventory and personalized service, we are here to make your purchase seamless.
Whether it's a luxurious Yukon or a rugged Sierra, we have the perfect ride for you. Come see us today to experience the Borhone family difference. We are located on the corner of Highway 46 East and Golden Hill Road in Paso Robles.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.
Hey, Backstage Pass, Rebel Bear. I want to thank all of our sponsors tonight for, there they are right there. Without them, this would not be possible. So thank you so much to everybody on that page right there. All the sponsorships make this show and the other shows on this podcast possible. Once again, I want to thank Mr. Ben Del Giorgio for coming in.
Thank you.
You want to check him out on Instagram, Facebook. He's doing some crazy stuff. He's probably one of the best musicians on this continent right now. I'm serious. If you want a great bass player, check this guy out. I'm sure he's for hire and he can play anything. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for joining in. All right. Bye.
When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentek's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver and ship premium products. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patio, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.